Sam, I want you to imagine a dark timeline.
Here we go. Okay.
I want you to imagine that you're playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Dark time. And
one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah. And
or its sequel, a very underappreciated game.
Number one was better, but anyway, we'll let that go. Yeah.
And then I want you to imagine that game stuffed full
of Knack 2.
Of microtransactions.
Can you imagine Star Wars with microtransactions back in the day?
I mean, who would put microtransactions into a Star Wars game?
No way, never.
That's
no one.
Ridiculous.
100%.
Well,
no one.
Behold the box of mystery. Goes in right here.
Thankfully, that conversation is being had right now about another game from the developer who made Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Obsidian Entertainment, and they're saying that they are not having a bar of it, and their newest game coming out will not have any microtransactions at all.
Do you trust me?
Yes.
But we will see. Just like EA said, guys, it's a new slate. Promise you, we're going to give you this and that, and then boom, they hit us with the microtransactions. Could happen here.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You guys might have heard of a developer called Obsidian Entertainment. Now, these guys are actually a really big deal. Sim had never heard of them before. Had you, Sam?
No, not really.
All around me are familiar.
I know what you're saying. You're so smart.
Do you know any developers besides Blizzard, Sam? Any developers at all?
Yes, developers are Disney,
right.
Universal.
Actually, if you just say Disney, they probably own all developers. Anyway, it's probably safest.
They are moving up the ladder. Yeah, they are moving up the ladder. Warner Brothers makes games, I'm sure.
Exactly right. Obsidian have done a tremendous number of awesome quality games over the years. Fallout New Vegas is their big ticket item that everyone's like, oh my god, we love that game so much. Standalone Fallout game, not made by Bethesda, made by Obsidian, that everyone loves more than they love Fallout, it seems.
It's interesting that Bethesda allowed another company to kind of handle such strong IP. Like, I don't think any other company, I can't think of any other company, like, you know, Halo, for instance, back in the day, they wouldn't just give it to some other developer for a little bit, then bring it back.
No, that's true. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I agree. Nintendo have given like Metroid to
Mario
different
Rabbids.
developers, and
They've brought that
all that sort of stuff. So it does happen from time to time. But Obsidian also worked on what else they got here? Neverwinter Nights 2. They had Pillars of Eternity, which is an interesting story. We'll come back to that in a moment. South Park: The Stick of Truth, as well as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, which we were talking about a moment ago.
Yeah.
Pillars of Eternity was a real breakthrough moment for Obsidian because they were really on the rocks financially. Like, this game was sort of make or break for them.
Oh, really?
And luckily, they managed to get it out the door with some support, the support of crowdfunding.
Wow.
Pillars of Eternity turned out to be a phenomenal game, one of the best games of the year that year. Tyranny, which is sort of the follow-up, didn't do as well. And now the publisher has been looking for some funding. They have found funding in the form of 2K Games, who have agreed to publish their games under a new indie label. The name of the label that 2K Games is going to be publishing these games under is called Private Division, which is a bit of a funny name, but anyway. So they basically said, we're going to now start publishing indie games, or smaller scale games. And that's a big deal, because 2K Games, by the way, they're the guys that do GTA. They're this, and they're all the Rockstar games, really, so we're talking Red Dead as well. And they also do Borderlands. That's also their baby as well. So,
and the basketball, of course, and we've seen
2K,
plenty of
right.
microtransaction in that lovely game.
So the challenge with this publisher is that they love them some microtransactions. Their CEO has recently said that every game that they put out in the next little while, they want those games to have microtransactions in them. Every single game under 2K Games is going to have microtransactions.
I just don't understand how someone like a CEO would come out and say such a statement in this current atmosphere. It's like, why
because
would
he's not
you do
speaking
that?
to gamers, he's speaking to shareholders.
Yeah,
and
but
he's like, we know how to make money. We're going to make money in every game now.
Yeah,
you know?
but that actually pushes games away, which will affect the shareholder.
Well,
I think.
people are so pumped for Red Dead Redemption. There's
that's
nothing
true.
that's going to push people away from that game.
That's true.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I don't need it. I need it!
Watch them come out with the dumbest microtransactions, like change your moustache for like $40, change your hat for like $200.
It's true.
Change your gender for like $1,000.
Cowboy genders.
76 different genders.
The concern that 2K Games would stuff microtransactions into Obsidian games now that they're publishing them
It's a real
was
threat.
a real threat. But luckily, some of the developers for Obsidian recently got on Twitter just to clear up any concerns that their games would have microtransactions in them.
It's actually
and the
very-
tweet that they put out is pretty nice.
It's very CD Projekt Red-esque, isn't it? In terms of clearing the air, making sure people know where they stand.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of savagery to it.
That's true. There is
a little
some
bit of savagery to it.
So let's watch this video because it's actually really good. We'll show it to you now.
Hello everyone, I'm Mikey Dowling, the PR manager here at Obsidian Entertainment, and I'm here with Leonard Boyarsky and Tim Kane to ask them a very important question that you have been asking us since yesterday. So Leonard, are we going to have microtransactions in the game?
Nope.
And Tim, how about loot crates?
Nope.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
That's so good.
That is great.
It's just like, nope.
Like, so awkwardly
Guys,
trying
like-
to be casual.
Yeah,
like, I'm standing here looking cool, promise. Like, it's, yeah. I mean, look, that's very cool that they've done that, though.
It
and
is.
I reckon it's in direct response to some other publishers that we might have mentioned in the past that have, that are copying some heat for those loot boxes and microtransactions. I would wager that would have never happened if some big shit didn't go down in the last month.
Totally.
You know?
Exactly.
So, if anything, I think it's a draw card now for these smaller publishers and smaller developers to kind of get their game out there or get a clear message out there that they're pro-consumer.
Totally.
By making little messages like this or making little tweets like CD Projekt Red did, saying that, hey, we don't give a fuck about making super duper amount of money. We're all about the gamer.
I think it's basically a new porn genre at this point. Like these videos that come out from developers being like, no microtransactions. You're like,
yeah. All the hardcore gamers
say
are just like,
it again, man. Say
like-
it again.
oh yeah, let me watch that again.
I want to be on you. Wait.
But Obsidian are a serious developer, man. They are a hardcore developer that have put out some of the greatest games ever. When they were not acquired, but when there was an agreement struck with 2K Games to publish their games, people were really nervous about this.
100%.
And the fact that they have now come out and said, guys, fuck that. We are just going to make great games with no microtransactions. And that 2K Games are okay with that. That's pretty good. I respect the fact that they're letting them do that because 2K could have negotiated that in. They didn't.
I mean, 2K could have easily seen that they're in a position right now that they really do need funding, and they could have been like, "Hey, in your contract, we don't care about your ethics or morals or whatever. We're here to make money, and this is what you're going to do." So to come out with a statement like this, of course, 2K knows about this kind of stuff. And they must be like, that's okay if that's what they want to do.
Yep.
I just hope that they don't turn around and do a full EA on us. Come out at a press conference and say, guys, we're going to change our attitude. It's going to be all fantastic. And then later on, they start introducing things.
And the way they say it is that to support the ongoing nature of the game and the
Yes.
live ecosystem, we've decided to blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and then they are putting other things in, like, they're not called loot boxes, they're called gift boxes. Some shit like that.
That this is not one of those shady pyramid schemes you've been hearing about. No, sir. Our model is the trapezoid that guarantees each investor an 800% return within hours of your initial... Uh-oh, the cops!
I trust Obsidian, though.
Yeah, it's really good news. I don't think that they would put something like this together unless they were really going to back what they've said. So it looks really good. And the last thing I think we'll say is it just shows now that the tide is turning. The tide is turning. These developers and these publishers are going to be coming out more and more and saying, no, we're not doing microtransactions or we're not doing loot boxes because it's now a dirty word.
Exactly.
It's a dirty word.
For me, this is another example of we are winning this war. Like, we are 100% winning this war because Activision and PA might put out like the next Michael Bay blockbuster that's stuffed full of microtransactions. But for people who really love video games and want good shit, developers like Obsidian exist and they're doing it right. That is just like worth its weight in gold.
And look, let's face it, it's all because of this little YouTube channel called Laymen.
The Laymen have saved the world.
We have, right? We've got it feels like we've got 2 million subs, obviously.
Jim who? No one's
Jim
heard
who?
of Jim who?
Who's Donkey? What the hell?
Total Bis?
No idea.
Total Cookie, is it?
No, I think it's Total Gingerbread Man.
Total
That's
Gingerbread
right.
Man, that's the one.